Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So in this video, we're going to be using the icicle bow and breaking the wall here, and finally we'll be able to challenge one of the two super bosses in this fight, in this new update. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me to play. Keep in mind that you do need a fully maxed icicle bow level 5 in order to unlock this fight. Anyways, so in this particular fight, there are 4 phases. Note that the boss does have a 20 shield of each, which is 20 status effects and 20 hits. So you do need a multi-hit team, and it is weak to win, so you really want to bring a powerhouse of characters that all do 3 or 4 or more hits. Now, I could have used Yuri here instead of Claude, for example. Claude only does the 1 hit. However, he does apply Pierce resistance down, and in conjunction with the zombies, Wind resistance down, we're really allowing both Kikyo and especially AS Suzette to do a lot of damage. One other reason I didn't want to choose Yuri is because, let's be honest, when Japan first got this release, the Tales of collaboration hadn't come out yet, and so I wanted to kind of experience it for myself and see what it would be like challenge-wise if you don't use the Tales of characters. Anyways, so moving on to phase 2, the boss has about 100 million HP, so each phase is 25% HP and about 25 million to push it over. Now, I didn't mention, if you don't do a bar right off the bat, the first attack will be over 10k unmitigated, similar to a Ukwaji level 170. So you'll take a single hit and one of your characters will die. So you need to AF on the first turn. After that, this phase is phase 2. It basically does 300 fixed unmitigatable damage. That is, you just take 3k, no way to reduce that damage. And it alternates between doing that a couple of times and refreshing its shields to 20 of each. Now note that the shields are actually against status, which is pain and poison. However, it is still vulnerable to debuffs such as Pierce debuff, physical debuff, and wind resistance debuff, as you can clearly see I am applied. Now, in this case, again, once we have half HP bar, AF bar, sorry, you will be able to survive that 3k hit, and at this point, with doing all our multi-hits, we're going to be able to push it to its 3rd phase. Keep in mind that make sure you test your team and be able to do about 25 million HP damage in 1 AF bar. And if you need more charge, just make sure you stall out using Mario, for example, and healing enough to survive the 2nd phase and doing tons and tons of damage with your main DPS. I do find that even though Stormbite with Claude is only 1 hit, the extra speed and crit damage boost really helps, and don't forget, it also has a Pierce resist down, which really augments AS Suzette's damage capabilities. And of course, AS Suzette is much better than OG Suzette because OG Suzette relies on pain and poison, and we cannot do that in this fight. It'll just take forever to apply those status effects. In the case of Kikyo, you didn't see it in this fight, but in one of my other fights, I actually did this a couple times just to make sure it works. She did get targeted with some of the hits, and it does allow her to be invulnerable, where the hit will miss and protect her for that 1 turn. Just like that, she didn't get hit with a status lock, and this is the 3rd phase now. So the boss starts off with a status lock, and I brought in with VC Meryl to make sure we can remove its status. Then the next turn is a 99% HP drain. It doesn't kill you, it leaves you at 1% of your HP, and so you won't die on that turn, in which case we can use Pure Cradle to restore our HP as much as possible. And again, the main thing here is surviving long enough in order to build at least half bar or more, depending on how much DPS your team can generate, making sure we have all our buffs and debuffs applied to the enemy. Keep in mind that, for example, with Manifest, AS Suzette does apply physical resistance down. You can see that physical resistance symbol is only at 1 and is fading off the enemy. So we really want to make sure we have as many debuffs on the enemy as possible to do all the damage. The shield is still there, although it is being resisted. And we just got hit with another kind of gravity type attack. Now, if you're wondering why I VC'd in Morgana in this phase, the reason why is you'll have to have full HP for the 4th and final phase, and I'll show you that shortly. So at this point, mainly I did use Morgana to cast Wind High Booster. We're casting Meteor around, and don't forget his Miracle Punch still guarantees 2 crit hits, which still allows you to build your combo meter and maintain the AF bar. Now, Some people want to use a wind zone. I think you may be able to get away with it. However, with the wind zone, keep in mind that the multi-hits don't charge the bar nearly as much as without zone. So I found that without zone is probably a little bit easier to manage. Anyways, we're here at the 4th phase, and we're on a tight DPS chapter. The real idea here is land as many hits as possible within 2 turns and build up a half bar. If you can't manage to get a half bar by the 2nd turn, you will probably die by the 3rd or 4th turn. The reason why is in this phase, the enemy does 1,000 damage AoE, 2,000 for the next turn, and you're guessing it, the turn 3 will damage 3,000, finally 4,000, 5,000, and so on and so forth. And you cannot protect against it. It is unmitigatable. So we really want to have the half bar, and having multi-hits with your team will do enough to bring it to your half bar. And again, we're just going to stack the debuffs. We already have the physical resistance down, the pierce resistance down, and we'll rely on my waifu Suzette to deal the damage and end the battle right here. Now, if you use Azami, I'm sure you can do that as well. I just find that with the Wind High booster from Morgana, not to mention you needed him on phase 3, moving into phase 4 to heal, it was much more reliable strategy than having Azami. Although if you don't have Kikyo, you probably could use Azami at that point. I will remind you guys that if you do want to make this battle easier on yourself, definitely Yuri would be much better. He allows guaranteed heals with his Guardian Field. He can also boost crit damage and crit rate, and and obviously maintain the AF bar a lot better than using Claude. That being said, we beat the battle. You get a gold badge and some chronostones for your troubles. As usual, this is my loadout, and I know that there is enhanced Grasta available as of this update. However, I still haven't gotten around to doing that yet, and when I do, I'll definitely try to figure out more about it and put up a video about that at that time. Anyways, even without enhanced Grasta and some older units, we still are able to beat this boss, although by the narrowest of margins. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.